Hello everyone, my name is Martelise and I will be taking you on a journey looking at research, ECD curriculum, best practice and real classroom experiences to unpack practical, meaningful guidance you can use in your practice. Teaching Tuesday is brought to you by ECD Teachers Training Institute. Please visit our website at www.ecdteacherstraining.online for short courses and qualifications to support you on your ECD journey. Because we believe that when teachers are empowered, children in their care thrive. Therefore, at ECD Teachers Training Institute, we educate to elevate. Writing is not just a fine motor task. It is the outcome of multiple developmental areas working together and supporting one another. Writing is the tip of a very large developmental iceberg. Before children can form any letters, they must have the ability and develop the skills to recognize shapes, discriminate between visual patterns, understand spatial relationships, judge size and orientation. Something on top is something round, is something yellow, is this object big, is it small, and also be able to have the visual tracking skills to be able to track left to right. They also need to be able to coordinate both sides of their body. Now, these are all perceptual skills and not pencil skills. So, research in early childhood development shows us that visual perceptual skills are stronger predictors of academic success in early literacy than the ability to copy tasks. So you cannot shortcut the brain's development by practicing an output. There are many perceptual motor skills that are important and that needs to work together, and not only the ones that I listed in the previous slide. Now, let's add something even more foundational. Children also need self-regulation skills because writing requires of them to have sustained attention, frustration tolerance, working memory, and body control. And if a child cannot regulate, they will rush or they will avoid doing a task. They will become anxious and they will shut it down. And sometimes we see this as laziness, but this is not a child being lazy. This is a child's nervous system under strain. So regulation comes before formal learning demands. Fine motor skills are very important, but we often isolate fine motor practice from developmental areas that support the fine motor skills. So tracing lines on a worksheet may strengthen fingers, but it does not necessarily strengthen core stability, or not necessarily, it certainly does not strengthen core stability, shoulder girdle, visual spatial integration, cross-lateral coordination, and executive functioning skills. Children develop stronger fine motor control through climbing, through pushing, pulling, carrying, building, manipulating real objects, and using tools in everyday play. So, large movement does support small movements, including writing skills. How can teachers support children in the classroom? Now, let's look at the first age band, 0 to 2 years of age. Here, our focus should be sensory integration and body awareness, not writing, not tracing, and not pencil skills. You should focus on strong foundational skills such as secure attachment, body control, sensory regulation, exploration, gross motor development, and the beginning of cause and effect understanding. Now, children 0 to 2 are typically developing postural stability, core strength, bilateral coordination, object permanence, early visual tracking, and early impulse control through co-regulation. So instead of tabletop tasks, we should prioritize in the 0 to 2-year-old age group tummy time and floor time, crawling through tunnels and obstacles, pushing and pulling toys, carrying objects, stacking large blocks, sensory baskets, water play, simple turn-taking games, and rhyme songs and predictable routines. Remember, movement builds the brain. Regulation is borrowed from the adult. Fine motor skills begins with gross motor strength. Let's look at the next age group, 2 to 3. Here, our focus should be perceptual motor integration and emerging self-regulation. Now we begin to see an increased body awareness, early problem-solving skills, simple 2-step instructions that they are able to follow, and they are also showing signs of early impulse control and definitely growing hand strength. But regulation is still developing, very important to notice. Now, children 2 to 3 years should be working towards crossing their midline, coordinating, working with both hands, visual discrimination between big and small, same and different, early shape recognition, squares, circles, triangles, beginning attention control in short bursts, and then also beginning to show some frustration tolerance. Writing is definitely still not the goal. What can you do in the classroom? Instead of using worksheets, you can use large mark making with chalk or paint, Play-Doh activities where you encourage squeezing and rolling, threading large beads, sorting objects by size and color, block construction, matching games where they can match different sizes, different objects, different colors, simple puzzle games, and then climbing and balancing, still very important in this age group. Sand and water pouring activities, because these will encourage crossing the midline and the coordination between both hands. These activities will also strengthen shoulder stability. It will allow children to develop great grip strength, visual spatial awareness, and executive functioning skills, as well as the bilateral coordination. Now, all of these will prepare the body and the brain for later writing skills. Now let's look at the next age group, 3 to 5 years of age. Here our focus should be integrating the perceptual skills, self-regulation, and then also emerging fine motor control that we will notice. Writing, or early writing rather, begins as mark-making sessions, symbol creation, drawing meaningful, where they are really able to tell you what they are drawing, and there's far more detail in their drawing. They will start with name recognition, and then also they will show an awareness of environmental print. This is where they will start recognizing the supermarket logo or the fast food chain logo. What can you do in the classroom? Encourage vertical surface drawing on a vertical surface such as an easel, fine motor stations where you can add cutting materials, tweezers, pegboards, also pattern building with blocks, obstacle courses still, and then also story scribing where adults will start to write down the children's words, and then also activities promoting large to small progression, big arm movements to smaller controlled ones. All of these activities will build executive functioning skills, visual motor integration, self-regulation, and true writing readiness, a readiness to explore mark making and early writing skills. Remember, movement builds control, control builds perception, perception builds writing, and wrap up today's Teaching Tuesday, remember this: the work you do as an early years educator matters. The small intentional choices you make every day shape children's learning and their development. You matter. If this episode added value to your practice, please share it with another teacher or a parent. Learning grows when it's shared. If you would like to enroll for a short course or an accredited ECD qualification, please visit our website www.ecdteacherstraining.online. Thank you for the work you do. Until next time, we educate to elevate.